Hi there, I'm making this video primarily just to show that you can have a larger tyre on a Continental GT 650. You can see here, this is the bigger tyre, and it doesn't look too big. It's obviously bigger than the stock tyre, but it suits it, and I prefer it so much more than the stock tyre. I think the stock tyre looks a bit too thin. Now, I basically saw on YouTube that in India there a couple of people putting it on, and I thought, yeah, I'll give it a go, it must be possible. But I did read that if you do that, the handling changes and the acceleration drops, because obviously the manufacturer chose a smaller tyre for a good reason. But to be honest, I found it better handling, and the acceleration I can't really notice. I mean, I'm not really one of a drag racer when it comes to the lights change, but I do pull away quite quick, and I haven't really noticed much of a decrease in acceleration, if any. And yeah, the handling's much better. If you're someone who actually owns one of these bikes, you've probably noticed when you get up to about 70 or even 60 on the motorway, you actually feel the bike fluttering and wobbling, especially if you're behind a lorry or a van, which can be quite uncomfortable or unnerving. But I found with this tyre it's a bit more sturdy. I'm spoilt that I actually have a BMW R1200C, the James Bond bike from 1999, which was handed down from my dad, and that's such a big bike that I've never really noticed it wobble before. Obviously I did when I was training on the 125, but I didn't think I'd have it on this bigger bike, but yeah, it is there. But now with the bigger tyre, it's almost all but gone, wobble. It's a much smoother ride, and my wife-to-be has actually even said that it's more comfortable for her on the back. She doesn't feel it's as wiggly. I mean, she prefers this seat anyway. If you know the R1200, it's got a tiny little seat, which is actually meant to be a backrest, which flips up and down. But anyway, here's the tyre. So I've got the panniers off just so you can see it, and you'll notice I've got it on the centre stand. So it's a 150. The stock is 130, and you can see it's subtly taller, which obviously pushes the bike up. But I mean, look at that. I mean, that's fairly level. It's hard to tell because I can't really see the horizon, but and then it adds about 2 centimeters either side of the wheel, and it doesn't catch. As you can see, it's very, very close to that bit of plastic there, but honest, it's not touching. The only time it does touch is when you have a flat tyre, and I've experienced that twice now. Fortunately, the first time I was on the motorway and I had to be trailered. So second time I actually was at home, and I had a rubber tube, so I could actually take the wheel off myself and get someone to change the tube over. And yes, I did try it by myself, but it's ridiculously hard. I tried to use it. Well, I didn't have tyre spoons, but you can see the marks where I tried to use it in crowbar to get it's ridiculously hard to get it off. So anyway, I'll put details of the tyre specification in the description, and while I've got you, I might as well show you, if you're interested, the other bits that I've changed on here. So the previous owner put that exhaust on, the sport exhaust. I'll turn it on in a bit so you can hear it. And then I've added the centre stand, which was damn hard. Easy to put on itself, but the springs, they're so hard. Like, they're 2 springs, so the bigger one's easier, but small one, God, I was actually pushing down on it to get it on, and unfortunately using a crowbar, or what is that? I think it's a wrench actually, to pull it down, and then it slipped off and I fell head first into the engine. Not fun. And then what else? So he's previous owner put that guard on the front there, as well as the wind catch, which I think makes no difference. But for looks, I guess it looks nice. I need to put the drop down mirrors on the ends at some point, because he actually wanted those. And then I've added in here USB, shall I show you? And this is wired straight to the battery. You can wire it to the ignition so it goes off after you've switched the engine off, but I wanted it permanently attached to the battery. I believe it does go off when you put the cap back on. Obviously I've got no way of telling that, but even still I haven't noticed a drop in the battery, just like that with a little LED. And the point being is, like, if you're broken down, engine's not running, like, you still want to charge your phone, obviously, to make it cool, of which happened when I had a flat tire on the motorway. And then he also added these Oxford heated grips, which at this time of the year is a godsend. And you can see here it's 100% goes through, and it's got a timer, so it knows when the ignition's off. It's got a timer which will automatically switch it off. And then he changed something with the fuel injection so that it pumps more fuel, because normally a stock at lower revs it pumps smaller amount of fuel, and then when it gets faster, little blue tip, when it gets faster it pumps more fuel, obviously for fuel economy efficiency. But what he's done is he's changed it so that the fuel goes is full right from the get-go, which means you have a quicker pull away, and brake horsepower is higher. So I think this one's around 70, I don't know, it's around 70. I think the stock is about 64. So yeah, I absolutely love this bike, as you can tell. So anyway, I'll put let me put the panniers on so you can see it. So don't know what to show you first. I'll show you the panniers on, and then so I got Royal Enfield panniers. I could have got any panniers on eBay and such, but I wanted the real deal. They look nicer as well. I think they're actually really for the Inceptor, but I carry stuff, I need them. Anyway, there you go. Slightly faded with the sunlight, but that's what it looks like with the panniers on. And then if I take it off the centre stand, you have some idea of what it looks like when it's kilted over. Also, if you're looking for something to clean wheels with, definitely recommend this. You can get it at like a fuel station. I think it's so good. Just spray it on, and then it gets the grease. It just like breaks down the grease and brake powder. Obviously, just don't get it on the brake discs. Wipe it off. But yeah, you spray it on. You leave it 5 minutes. Then it goes all purpley, and then you just wipe it off. And then for the sheen of the bodywork, I was going through all sorts of different products, and the best one I found is Mr.Bling. You spray it onto a cloth, then put it on, rub it onto the paintwork, and it goes a bit like musty. And then if you get another clean cloth and you just buff it off, really simple. You're not going to be there like for other products. I was there buffing it for ages to get it, like there's like a waxy grease on it. This is just simple. It's kind of like a luminous yellow liquid, odd, but no, very handy. Anyway, well there you go. Like I say, details in the description. Thanks for watching. Exhaust all the way from out here, it really kicks it out. It's funny when you have people standing behind the bike and you have the engine running, they're like, what's that draft? And I forgot to actually show you that the previous owner actually put that radiator guard on, and he put this on, which very handy. I'm glad he did that. That's not normally stock, apparently, I think. And also the crash bars. You can get all sorts of different crash bars for this bike. Anyway, thank you.